Good evening and welcome to my podcast. It's Yaz. And tonight I'm going to talk about narcissists. Okay. I love this topic, you guys, because there's so many narcissists out there. And a lot of times you're dealing with a narcissist and you don't even realize that you're dealing with a narcissist. Okay. I had podcasts on this before. But let me just give you a little brief intro about whether you're dealing with a narcissist, okay? A narcissist is basically somebody that is self-absorbed. They're all about them. They can never be wrong, okay? They will gaslight you and make you feel like you're crazy, okay? And they will try to always win the conversation, all right? So if you're dealing with somebody who's driving you crazy. A narcissist will drive you crazy, okay? They will make you question your sanity, okay? Because no matter what you say, if you're in an argument with a narcissist, okay, they're never going to acknowledge what you're saying and say you're right. All right. They're going to say you don't know what you're talking about. They're going to cut you down. This is what narcissists do. They cut you down. All right. Unless you're feeding their ego, because narcissists always need their egos fed. They live off that. They feed off their egos being fed. And once they realize that you're not feeding their ego anymore, okay, you become of little value to them, all right? And a narcissist could just drop you in a heartbeat and you don't even know what happened, all right? They have very little empathy, if any at all. All right. Narcissists, very typical of narcissists, is they come on strong. They love bomb you. They build their little web. Okay. They look for people that are very giving people, very vulnerable people. All right. Because these are people that they can manipulate. All right. And this is how they thrive. They thrive on manipulating somebody, all right? So that they could always be on top. A narcissist always wants the power. So if you're dealing with somebody who's extremely difficult, who every time you get in an argument, they flip it on you, okay? That's one of the signs, all right? In a lot of cases, not all cases, that you could be dealing with a narcissist, is they like to flip it on you and say, it's your fault. You caused the problem, not me, all right? They never acknowledge that they're at fault, all right? So just be aware of that. And what I'm going to talk about tonight is how do you win with somebody like that, right? You could be in a relationship with somebody and not even realize you're with a narcissist. The first thing I'm going to tell you is this. If you're dealing with a narcissist, first of all, you shouldn't be, okay? Because you basically can never win with somebody like that, all right? This is why a lot of people are in toxic relationships, because they sit there, they try to fix the person, they try to sit there and talk to them and try to plead their case to that person and try to make them understand, but they won't understand anything unless you're putting them up on a pedestal. And when you shoot them down, okay, or you criticize them or you judge them, all right, they don't take to it lightly, all right? So there's no real negotiation with a narcissist, like if you have an argument or a disagreement. And you could have narcissists that are not only partners, they could be family members, they could be a mother, a father, a brother, a sister, a relative, okay? It could be anybody. So the thing is, recognize if you are dealing with a narcissist, and then you have to decide, do you want to be in a relationship and how do you win with somebody like that? Basically, the best way to deal with somebody like that is to not feed into it, all right? Because it's best to show them that they have not got to you, all right? This is what they want. They want to be able to break you down, all right? So the way that you do that is you don't engage, all right? It's like when you deal with toxic people, the same thing. How do we deal with toxic people? We don't deal with toxic people, okay? We don't bring ourselves down, because when you're in a relationship like that, It's a no-win situation. You're not dealing with a reasonable, level-headed, even-tempered type of person that has understanding for your side, okay? And when you're dealing with somebody like that, you're going to have a rough, rocky road, all right? So I always say, like I do in my prior podcasts, know the type of person you're dealing with. Know their background. Know their past dating history. Know what kind of childhood they had, all right? Know if they're psychologically damaged from anything in their childhood, in their past relationships, okay? That's another thing a lot of narcissists do too. In prior relationships, they're always going to blame the other person. I mean, that's not necessarily, if somebody does that, that doesn't necessarily mean they're a narcissist, but in a lot of cases, narcissists, they never ever will own anything. They'll never say, yeah, it was my fault too, okay? It's always the other person's fault, all right? And when a narcissist breaks up with you, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to run to somebody and try to smear you, okay? It could be a friend, it could be a family member, okay? This is what they do, all right? Because they want to bring you down. They want to bring you down. So the best way to deal with somebody like that is to take the high road, okay? And not go toe-to-toe with them, okay? Because when you go toe-to-toe, all right, it's kind of like we don't argue with stupid, all right? Because I'm not saying that they're stupid because a lot of narcissists are very smart and clever, but I'm just saying in general, when you get involved in a situation that's a no-win situation, you don't put yourself in that place, okay? It's kind of like it's kind of like a parent talking to a child and trying to reason with an unreasonable child that doesn't understand. They don't understand, or they don't want to understand, all right? So it's kind of like if you're dealing with somebody who will never, ever, be somebody that you could sit down and talk to. I always talk about that too. Qualities to look for when you're dating somebody is somebody that listens to you, somebody who understands your point of view, okay? That's part of the connection, is somebody being able to communicate. Communication is so important, you guys. That's why you have to get on the phone and you have to have conversations with these people that you're dating, all right? It could be on Zoom dating or wherever you're meeting these people, all right? We're in quarantine now, so it's Zoom dating or on the phone or regular dating, getting on the phone, all right? Not by text, but by getting on the phone or by video chatting to get to know the person, all right? You have to be able to have a good conversation about each other. And that person really has to be able to connect with you and be able to, have a good conversation. Now, the thing you got to keep in mind is in the beginning, everybody's nice in the beginning, all right? So I don't care how nice they are in the beginning, and then you say all of a sudden they went cold, all right? That doesn't mean anything. It's about consistency. They got to be consistent throughout, all right? It can't just be hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. You're not dealing with a consistent, healthy growth of a relationship, all right? So there's a lot of reasons they go hot and cold too, all right? But I'm not going to get into that. What I'm talking about today is basically if you're dealing with a narcissist and how do you win with a narcissist, all right? The way you win with a narcissist is when you get into a confrontation with somebody like that, all right? And you feel like this person is they're coming at you with the facts, they're switching it up, they're gaslighting you, they're saying, oh, it's you assume that, or you're too sensitive. Number one, don't doubt your gut. Never doubt your gut. Trust your gut, all right? If your gut is telling you something, there's a good reason it is, and you need to trust it. Don't let this person make you second guess yourself, because this is what they do, all right? They want you to second guess yourself, all right? Because they'll sit there and they'll look you straight in the eye, okay? And they will tell you how they love you and everything like that. And they could be also telling you lies as well, all right? So if you see that you're dealing with somebody and it just doesn't make sense. Let's say they're saying they were home and they weren't home, and you know for a reason they weren't home, and they're saying you're crazy or something like that, all right? They're going to try to make you look like you're crazy. You're going to sit there, you're going to second guess yourself and everything like that. Trust your gut. Trust your gut. If you're feeling a certain way, most of the time you're right, all right? But make sure you looked at everything, all right, before you pass judgment. The other thing is when they try to engage in that confrontation with you, all right, you don't want to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, all right? Arguing. What you want to do is you want to take a step back, let them have the last word, all right? Always let them have the last word. I know that's hard for a lot of people because a lot of people, they like to have the last word, all right? But when you let them have the last word, okay, and you just walk away, what you're showing them is, you know what? I don't need to plead my case to you, okay? Because you are making absolutely no sense whatsoever, and I am not going to lower myself to your level, okay? I'm taking the high road. I am better than that. I am standing my ground and letting you know that 2 and 2 is 4, 2 and 2 is not 3. You see what I'm saying? All right. And they will try to make you feel like you don't know what you're talking about, that you have the situation all wrong. All right. And don't fall into the trap. Don't fall into the trap. You don't engage. That's the key, you guys. And that's even in any kind of argument that you see that's going nowhere. You don't engage. You step back from it. You have to step back. All right. And you have to let them know, because the alternative is to go back and forth, okay? Number one, you're getting emotional, all right? You're getting upset. Either you're getting angry or you're getting upset, you're getting emotional, and when you do that, you lose your power, okay? But when you don't engage, all right, you're keeping your power, all right? And it's making you, it's raising your power and building up your worth in their eyes. But the whole thing is, if you're dealing with somebody that's that narcissistic, all right, you may not want to be in a relationship with somebody like that everything is a struggle, all right, that there is no compromise involved, that everything you do, you have to always agree to what they say, or you have to tell them they're always right, all right? You don't want to be in an unhealthy relationship like that. So when you find that you're dealing with somebody like that, you need to step back. You definitely need to step back and not get yourself involved in a situation like that. And that's where a lot of people have problems. They get involved with somebody, they don't even realize that they're dealing with a narcissist, okay? They're arguing back and forth, they're thinking they're going crazy, they break up, then they give themselves a little time, then the narcissist comes back and he starts love bombing to bring you back in, all right? And they suck you back in, you fall for it because you don't recognize the signs, all right? That what is going on, all right? How this person is manipulating you. What they're doing is they're manipulating you to bring you back in, all right? And then in a lot of cases, what people do is they start apologizing or they let things go, all right? And they say, oh, it could have been me, and maybe I made a big deal out of something, or maybe I didn't see it wrong. No, you saw it right, okay? You saw it right. But because the narcissist had broke you down, all right, now you're getting soft, you're weakening, and you're giving that person your power, and you're getting into a situation, all right, where you will always have to give up your power, all right? I talk about power and relationships in my book, you guys. Regain Your Power. It's on Amazon. Links in the bio. But this is like so important because every relationship deals with power. Even in the dating world, all right? You have the women, they're dealing with not chasing the men, or you have the men now not chasing the women. So nobody wants to give away their power, and you have this game going on back and forth, back and forth. That's why I said just be a good person, be normal, treat somebody with respect. And if they can't treat you with respect back, then they're not for you. If you find that somebody is breadcrumbing you, then they're not for you, okay? You let that person know that's not how you roll. That's not acceptable in how you date and get to know somebody. And if they can't bring themselves up to that level to get to know you, then they're really not interested in getting to know you, okay? Or they may just, want to just get to know you for other reasons, not the right reasons. So keep that in mind. But getting back to being a narcissist and dealing with a narcissist, so many people, you guys, so many people are involved with people that are narcissists. They don't even realize it. They just think that their partner is being difficult or, then they start blaming themselves and say, oh, it's me, maybe I shouldn't have brought that up to them. I upset them. Then you start second guessing yourself and you start losing your self-worth. Never, ever do that, because what you're doing is you're setting a precedent. This is what the person does. And also, another thing that the narcissists love to do is to, stonewall you and walk out on you, okay? Or give you the silent treatment, all right? Do not break down when you deal with somebody like that. Because if you break down, they will do it every time to you. Every time, because they know that's your weakness. That's your Achilles heel. That when they give you that silent treatment, you come back and you're like, what's wrong? Please talk to me, text them. You do nothing. You don't text them, nothing. If somebody gives you the silent treatment, you do nothing. Because the minute you break, the minute you contact that person, you have lost your power, okay? And now that person has the upper hand. And that's when, if they have the upper hand and they feel that they got you, then they're going to pretty much be able to control how the situation goes in the relationship, all right? So unless you're willing to, give up all your power and always go by how they treat you, all right, you don't want to do that. So the thing is, you have to hold yourself. When you're dealing with somebody that's a difficult person or a narcissist, okay, you do not succumb to their level, okay? You don't second guess yourself. You are not crazy, okay? They want you to think that, you're crazy, but you're not crazy. And don't let these people try to break you down, and they will try, okay? And if you're dealing with somebody that's like that, that is not somebody that you want to be around or have a relationship with, all right? Because then you're setting yourself up for a toxic relationship. And what will happen is you'll be with them for a while. And in a lot of cases, especially when you're dealing with a narcissist, when they've had their fill of you, they will dump you in a second. They will dump you in a second for somebody else, okay? When they get tired of you, a lot of times narcissists get tired of you, especially if they feel that you're not feeding their ego as much, or maybe they're just tired of you and they want a new supply, which means another person to start working on, okay, and have more of that, attention from somebody else, okay, they will drop you in a second. That's why a lot of these women, they're dealing with men that come on strong, love bomb them like the narcissists do, tell them how much they love them, be on the phone with them for hours, and then the next thing you know, these guys are gone, okay? They're gone because they found a new supply, all right? They had their fill of you, all right? Or maybe you're not, what they want, or you're not, feeding their ego or chasing them, okay? And they go to the next, all right? So just recognize if you're dealing with a narcissist or not. And if you are, believe me, if they walk away, you should thank God that they did, because you don't want somebody like that in your life whatsoever, okay? All right? You have to feel bad for the next person they get involved with, all right? Because it'll only happen again. So the thing is, the whole point of this podcast is to basically, have your power. Don't engage. Don't try to win with a narcissist. Walk away, all right? Don't go toe-to-toe with them, all right? You're not going to lower yourself to their level, all right? And just, be confident in yourself that what you see, what you think, what you feel is what it is, okay? Make sure that you know the facts when you're dealing with somebody, all right? And like I said, just walk away, all right? And be with somebody who's kind, who's loving, who's understanding, who you could sit down and have a conversation with, all right? Somebody that makes you happy, not that you're happy, then you're sad the next day, then you're happy, and then unhappy. That is not a healthy relationship, you guys. So I hope that helps you. If it did, please hit the subscribe button and share. Have a wonderful Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, okay? Enjoy your day. Be safe, okay? And I will talk to you soon.